Hello and welcome to Retro Reviews, and welcome to Smash Saturday, where we talk about all things Smash related until we get a new Smash game, whether that be Smash 6 or Smash Ultimate Deluxe. Today I want to talk about everything wrong with Peach and Daisy. This was a comment I got a while back saying, do everything wrong with Daisy specifically, and I had some ideas with that because I thought that'd be really fun to talk about her as an Echo Fighter and how she shouldn't have been an Echo Fighter. And then they recently said, how about you just do Peach? That's what I want to see. Let's just talk about them both since they are identical in their playstyle and everything. But I wanted to do both today. I want to talk about Daisy first and foremost, just for a little bit here, because Daisy had so much potential as a standalone fighter. That's what's everything wrong with Daisy, is that she's just an echo of Peach. She has so much personality and charm, especially in the spin-off games where she's the most prevalent. She has so much to do in all of those games. They could have used all sorts of moves from the sports games to flesh out her moveset and make her pretty indistinguishable from Peach. Her personality alone gives her just so much, I really like Daisy as a character. I think she's really cool and interesting. So it's just sad to see that she's relegated to an Echo Fighter. I would rather have her in the game as an Echo Fighter than not at all. But again, it would be way better to have her as a fully fleshed out character. But with that out of the way, let's get into what makes Peach and Daisy broken in Smash Bros. Ultimate. Let's get it out of the way straight up here. Float is what makes them broken. Float gives them so many options here. I'm not a Peach or Daisy savant, so if I'm missing anything, let me know in the comment section down below, but I will try and break down all of the advantages I see from Float. First and foremost, it can be used as a recovery mix-up. If you get launched off the stage, typically you have a certain flow chart as to what you can do for any character in the game. Let's say Luigi, my main, for instance. I get knocked off toward the blast zone. I'm very likely holding side B first. If I'm too far off, I need to use side B because my drift isn't super good, so I need to use that first to get as far back to the stage as I can. Likely I'm going to have to jump side B again. If I get knocked off not as far, I can drift down while hitting forward air to give me a little bit of momentum forward, and I go underneath the stage is where I like to live. Peach and Daisy have a very special advantage off stage because they can float at any time between their initial getting knocked off the stage. They can use float to float back toward the stage and keep them a horizontal, they stay at the horizontal plane here. They don't go down or up anymore. They just float back and forth, and they can move back and forth freely. So if they are, let's say for instance, they get knocked into the blast zone, you see the little bubble pop up, and they start floating back toward the screen, and you go off to edge guard them, they can just drift back a little bit, and since they have so much time in the air with float, they can avoid your attack, sometimes reversal you and gimp you off stage or get a kill confirmed there, and then have the opportunity to avoid your attack and get back to stage scot-free. And if you're putting yourself in a compromising position going off stage, now suddenly they have the advantage on stage. They've got the stage presence, and you're in a bad position. They have a lot of opportunity to reverse whatever is going on, reverse the situation because of float. And they don't have to use it immediately. They could use their double jump first and then float, or they could float and then double jump and then up B. There's just a lot of mix-up potential that makes her a very scary character off stage. You don't really want to ledge guard her. You want to ledge trap her as much as possible. You don't want to go off stage to attack her, because you probably will miss unless you've got a really huge sweeping hitbox and you're pretty confident you're going to hit her. So that out of the way, the recovery is huge, but being used on stage is what gives it a huge advantage. Peach and Daisy have the opportunity to, if you just hold down and press the jump button, you automatically activate your float. So it's a really nice shortcut. I think in the other Smash games it was a lot harder to activate float. This is a pretty easy shortcut. You hold down, you jump, and you're floating immediately. Now, if you're not aware, if you use a short hop aerial, so if you're pressing the X button or the Y button, whatever your jump is mapped to, and the A button and whatever direction, if you're doing that aerial, if you're doing that macro, you get a damage multiplier down. You lose some damage because you're using short hop. That's just kind of one of the things they implemented to kind of balance out short hops being pretty strong out of shield. But if you use float, you don't get that problem there. So if you activate it right away, you get really fast, almost like instantaneous aerials that can avoid your jump squat animation and everything, and you get the damage multiplier as well. This makes it extremely strong for combo game. You can do combos that are much more damaging than someone like, let's say, Luigi. If I start off my combo with a short hop aerial, I'm going to lose some damage there. But Peach and Daisy do not suffer from that. Another big thing that makes them really strong is while you're in float, if you're holding an item, you don't immediately throw the item if you use an aerial while floating specifically. So if I'm holding turn up I can use an aerial while in float and then let go of float and throw the item and hit him, recatch the item, and do a bunch of damage. You can get strings that even lead to 0 to deaths, which is absolutely insane. So float is such an interesting mechanic because it doesn't make you throw the item while you're in the air. Every other character would have to do what's called a Z catch aerial, where you have to drop the item and immediately throw out an aerial to re-catch it before like doing your combo. Diddy Kong has to do a ton of that. It's really hard. I play Diddy Kong a lot. It's ridiculously hard to be consistent with that when you're using Banana. But Peach doesn't have to do that while she's floating, which makes her really, really strong. Her combo game is already absurd, especially if you get the float cancels and everything. You can do move into move into move using the float cancel, like using a float and an aerial, dropping down, then doing it again. It's absolutely insane what she can do with her combo game. It's very execution heavy. Not many players can do it. I can think of 2 off the top of my head with Mutace, the best Peach player in the world, and Umeki, the best Peach in Japan, or best Daisy specifically in Japan. They do very, very well with these combos. Mutace is a wizard on the controller, but it's such a big problem that he sometimes suffers from his hands just really hurting. And I know that technical characters like this take a lot of strength in your hands. It can just be a nightmare to play a character like this. But if you're on it, you can get combos that are just absurd. You can have a ton of comeback potential too. Peach and Daisy are not the heaviest, but they are just heavy enough to survive a lot of things. And because they have stuff like float to keep them and give them a lot of survivability and a lot of like being able to avoid the enemy's attacks on stage. If you're using float really strategically, you can place where you're going to be in the air. Like instead of most characters, if I jump, I have a natural trajectory of where I can go. If I short hop, I'm only going a certain distance. If I full hop, I'm going obviously a different certain distance. But if I float, I can mix up in between where that goes. I can mix up when I am off the stage and when I'm dropping down, which is absolutely crazy. There's just so much mix-up potential from float itself. And then add in that down tilt is a crazy combo starter that can lead into these float combos and item combos that can lead to the 0 to deaths. Down tilt is extremely large. I don't think it's the most broken move, but it's a crazy combo starter. And for Peach to have it specifically makes it that much stronger. Also, her forward air is extremely broken. She uses her crown. I didn't know this for a long time, but she uses her crown to hit you. She takes it off and smacks you with it, which is why it's so strong. But she can use this forward air out of like throwing a turn up at you or another item. She can throw that and then hit you with forward air and typically recatching the item as well to reset if it doesn't kill you. But if you're off stage, you're probably dying at a very early percent here. And again, because it's on Peach's kit and because she can combo into it pretty reliably off of things like down tilt while holding an item or from float down air, which is also a really busted move, a multi-hit that combos you perfectly, like pops you up into like the perfect window to combo and everything. She just has so many options with her aerials. Her up air is also pretty crazy. It's not the strongest move. It is a kill move at certain percents when you get to higher percents for sure, but you can also do drag downs with it, abusing the float mechanic and dropping down midway through the aerial itself, and then you can keep your combo going. You can extend combos this way. Pretty crazy. You can also get back throw. Back air is also pretty strong. You can get down throw into back air at certain percents. It's a very good kill move off stage especially. And again, with the float mix-ups that you can do, this character just becomes really, really scary. Her smash attacks are pretty cool as well. They have varying smash attacks for the forward smash based on the input that you press. I don't exactly know what it is. You get a frying pan, you get a golf club. I think there's one more, if I'm not mistaken, the tennis racket, if I'm not mistaken there. Those all have different properties. One sends you up, one sends you out. I can't remember exactly what they do, but they are different, and if you are proficient with that, it's a nice way to mix up DI and kill people a lot earlier. So that smash tag is pretty strong. Down smash does a lot of damage and is a multi-hit, does a lot of shield stun, and is fairly safe on shield too. So again, it's not the most broken item, but Peach can use it very, very effectively. In melee, it is a very broken move. It's a very strong move, does a ton of damage, but in Smash Ultimate, it's not crazy. But again, because it's on Peach, and because it can do a ton of damage and even lead to mix-ups and combo potential, it's pretty darn strong. Up smash is very, very strong, especially on the sweet spot, and can kill extremely early on characters, and you can combo into it in some instances. Turn up is also broken. I've alluded to this a while back. Turn up is very strong as its base form. arm. It does a fair amount of damage, but just enough knockback to be a great combo extender, like I said before, 0 to death potential. But you can also have the opportunity to pull a Stitch Face, which is extremely strong, does a ton of damage and a ton of knockback, can kill you, it can turn the tides of a match instantaneously. So luck has an element with Peach and Daisy as well, and when you pull out a Stitch Face or a Mr. Saturn, which breaks your shield, if it touches your shield at all and you don't parry it, or you can pull out a Bob-omb and just destroy you, blow up your shield, send you off the stage, spike you if you're off stage. There's so much variance that can happen with Peach. So if she's getting the normal turn up, she has a lot of combo potential, but if she pulls a Stitch Face, you're probably dying at 40% because she's just going to kill you. She's going to send you off stage at a bad angle and you're just toast at that point. Or a Bob-omb is just going to kill you super early. Mr. Saturn's going to break your shield and set up a kill. There's just so much that Peach can do with her items. It's a crazy thing that she has. Before this video ends, I realized while editing, which I typically do with these videos, that I missed a few things, so I wanted to talk about them really fast. First is Peach Bomber, the side B. This is a move that you can end combos with off stage that will kill at absurdly low percents. It's also very safe on shields. So if you hit their shield while on stage, you can bounce back. You don't have a whole lot of risk there. You don't have any like free fall animation or end lag or anything. You have a pretty much free move if you know that they're going to shield on the Peach Bomber. There's also up B, which is extremely strong. It can kill at absurdly early percents. There are combos into it, especially out of down tilt or through item combos. I've seen Mute Ace kill off the top with this move so many times, and it's absolutely insane how broken it can be. But it's also a great recovery mix-up tool. If you're off stage up super high or even off to the side sometimes, you can up B early if you don't have the resources, and you can drop the umbrella and then pop it back up to mix up how fast you drift down. It also has a hitbox on top of it to kind of contest a lot of people trying to hit you from above, so you have to kind of hit from the side, and it makes it really hard to hit her from the side when she's drifting down like that. Also, Nair is an extremely strong combo move. I forgot that as part of the sequence. It's a really strong move too off stage. At the sweet spot, it can do a pretty sizable amount of knockback, but it can also gimp. She's one of the best characters off stage at ledge guarding. She can position herself right where you want to drift back toward the ledge, kind of like Steve's block in a lot of ways. She can just float there and wait for you and use Nair. She can gimp you out of your recovery or hit you with the sweet spot and knock you off to where you can't recover at this point. Really strong. Or if she's holding an item, she can set up ledge guards with items by just going barely off stage, throwing it up, and then positioning herself off. She's just insane. An absolute demon in so many ways. I had to make sure I talked about that before this video ended. So wrap this all together, and she is just a really broken character that's very technically proficient, and that's kind of what holds her back for a lot of players specifically. But if you know how to do those things and you're good at them, Peach and Daisy are very scary characters in this game, and they are absolutely top tier. They have been top tier for quite a while. I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. They have great matchups against a lot of the top tiers, even against characters like Steve. Float is just that good of a mechanic. If she didn't have Float, she'd probably be a high tier because Turnip's still good. She has lots of combo starters, but Float is just that broken. You put that on almost any character in the game and they become pretty broken as well. So that's everything wrong with Peach and Daisy. This one's a little bit lighter here. I still talked for like 11 minutes here, it looks like. But they are a little bit on the lighter side in terms of broken stuff. They don't have as much broken stuff. Float just makes them, it makes all of their stuff infinitely better. Let me know in the comment section down below what you think. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.